Alright, what's up guys? How is everyone doing? Welcome in, Lords of the Fallen. So, I have something to reveal to you guys. 2 months ago, I was approached by the head of Hexworks Studio, and I was asked to help them balance the game and playtest some things. No other content creators got asked that, but I did bring Steelovsky with me. I asked them to bring Steel into this, and I'm glad we did because it was great doing this with Steel. So yeah, they they had the balls to get me involved in their project. Ooh, this is loud. Sorry about that. Yeah, they had the balls to get me involved in this, and here we are. I've been playing this game for about, I would say about 2 months now. Testing stuff, you know, we gave them feedback for a bunch of different things. Right now, there is a specific embargo going on. I cannot talk about anything multiplayer related, so we're going to keep this to single player stuff. But I'm just going to say one thing. This is a PvE game. No matter what my involvement with the game is, I just want you guys to keep in mind that this is a PvE game. I think that's one thing that I want you guys to take away from this, and we're going to delve into the PvE side of the game today. I'm going to talk about different aspects of the gameplay. This is not going to be a review, as this embargo doesn't allow for reviews either. So the real embargo is going to be dropped on the 12th. On the 12th, I'm going to be able to talk to you guys about pretty much anything. But until then, I can talk to you about some of the mechanics and show you a bit of the game. So we have until, I believe it is the 3rd boss that we can show. I don't know if it is the 3rd or what, but I know which boss that we can show to. So we're going to be playing through the game, showcasing some of the mechanics, how it runs, everything. And yeah, you guys are going to be lucky because the latest builds, because I went through a lot of builds with this team, the latest build is running so much better than previously. So you have to give it up for the team for having optimized this game so damn much throughout the latest months, especially toward this month. Like the Hexwork team has been working their ass off. Like, I've never seen so much optimization in such a short amount of time. So you guys are never really going to see this, but looking at it from the inside, I can tell you that this is quite impressive. Alright, so let's take a look at the character creation. I'm not going to spend too much time on the character creator, but let's just create our character real quick. So let me just remove those face tattoos though. Let's just do that. There's a bunch of options. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, as I said. Oh. But yeah, the character customization is quite robust in this, might I say. It's really nice. I really like it. Got a bunch of different choices for various body parts. Like I said, we're just going to go over this quickly. And we're going to start with a character here. Body. It's looking all right. Let's remove the tattoos. Don't get me wrong, there are some cool tattoos in there. It's just, you know, personal preference. You guys can do whatever you want. I think there's some cool ones. Actually, oh, this is one. This one's on the back. Yeah. Now there's some cool ones, but you know, it's to each his own, really. But yeah, I mean, you could technically see it if you play naked, but we're going to be wearing armor anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Either way, we're going to start with the Hollowed Knight. So I'm sure you guys would want to see... Oops. Oh, I hope I didn't lose my thing. Okay, we did not lose our thing. Great. Got me scared here for a moment. Okay, so let's take a look at all the classes. We got the Warwolf. Look at that. Beautiful. We got the Partisan, which I have tried a few days ago. Actually, it's not this one. It's another one. We got the Mornstead Infantry. This is the one I tried a few days ago. We got the Blackfeather Ranger. Pretty cool, honestly. We got the Exiled Stalker. Look at that. The Orient Preacher. By the way, the armors in this game are actually next level. Like, it's kind of crazy, honestly. It is pretty insane. PvE in this game is really good. And when I launch the game, I'm gonna tell you guys about some of the mechanics that you guys are gonna like as well. Okay, so I think we got everything we need here. Let's jump into it. Let's go change name. There you go. Boom. And let's get to it.
Lo, the latest receiver of his grace.
I'll let you guys listen to this and watch the cutscene.
Great potential dwells within you, doubtless, for you to be chosen thusly. And so does Aurea's wisdom guide my hand in the bestowment of this subsequent boon.
Characters in this game are great, by the way. I'm not gonna spoil you guys anything, obviously. That would be horrible. I don't think I'm allowed to either.
Your flesh has been made sacrosanct with the mark of the Dark Crusaders.
But yeah, this is going to be pretty much the first tutorial area, mostly. I don't think I'll be showcasing all the way until the point that I'm allowed to showcase, simply because I don't like spoiling the game for people. So we're likely going to go through the tutorial area and then the first boss, maybe. We'll see what we have time for. All right, would you look at that? By the way, I think it's going to be obvious at this point. The game looks ridiculously good. Like, this is one hell of a looker. This game looks amazing. All right, little FPS drop here. There you go. Once you drop into the game, it can do that sometimes. When you load in, there can be some drops, but after that, as you can see, I don't know if you guys can see my FPS on screen, but I have right now 220 FPS. And so, I mean, we have frame generation on. It is as smooth as it really can get. And so, yeah, that's that. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is, you know how, like, you look at this and the character can look janky a little bit? Well, let me tell you, this is one of the best feature of this game. It's the fact that it is the most responsive game I have ever played, and I'm not joking. Like, it is so responsive, it's ridiculously smooth. It's one of the most responsive game ever. And this is also why that I decided to try the frame generation on this, because it's so responsive that the input delay is like so low that you can afford to actually use frame gen here. Whereas with other games, you know, you'd have a significant failed delay, but this is so responsive that you can afford basically to sacrifice a few milliseconds to get that ridiculous like 220, 240 FPS, you know. So let's take a look at some of the attacks that we got. So you got, man, this is the best part of the game. So check this out. In this game, you can chain your attacks, an R1 into a two-handed R1 by two-handing your weapon between the swings, and you can chain attacks that way. So two-handed into one-handed. You see that? So I'm starting, let's say in one hand, do an R1, then I two-hand my weapon mid-swing, and then I do another swing, and then the follow-up comes out two-handed, and you stay two-handed. And you can also do that with the R2, so it looks like this. Or you can also do that with charge. Look at that. So there is some extremely good versatility. in the different ways you can attack and chain attacks. And I think that's probably the biggest upside from this Lords of the Fallen game, is the fact that you can chain different attacks to suit your need depending on the weapon you're using. And obviously, two-handed will do more damage than one-handed, and every attack has their perk. You know, one-handed is going to be faster, you have access to your shield, different arc, and whatnot. And yeah, as far as balance is concerned, Steel and I suggested the dev that they added that to add hyper armor for the charge attacks, and so they did. I don't know exactly which attacks that have hyper armor, but before in this game, like all the slower weapons, they didn't have hyper armor. This was something that the dev considered before they asked us for balance advice and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I think we convinced them to add hyper armor for the heavier weapons, so heavier weapons are going to have hyper armor on some attacks, but it's the dev that pretty much decide where to put it. But yeah, overall, I'm going to say, like, as much as I've been involved with this game for about 2 months, I would say. So, you know, the head of the studio, Saul, it's funny, he just hit me up on Twitch, and he's like, you know, would you like to come check out our game? Like, give us some feedback, tell us what you think and whatever. And I'm like, you know what? Sure. And I'm gonna say, guys, it takes some balls to do that, because as you guys know, I'm not the typical like content creator that's just a yes man and that's gonna agree with everything. Like, I'm gonna give him the time, like what time it is, and I think he knew that. And so I'm so glad that I participated in this. It was a great experience, honestly. I really love these devs. They're pretty amazing, honestly. I honestly have only good things to say about these guys. Especially, I mean, I kind of worked with, I've talked with a few people, but mainly I've been working with the gameplay guy. So shout out to Tyler. And I've been working with the head of X-Work, which is Saul. So shout out to both of them. Great guys, honestly. They put so much love, care, and work into the game. And so, yeah. So tracking here. It's good that the tracking is not perfect. Also, if you think that the roll distance is large, because remember, guys, that's one of the criticism that we had when before the game came out, before we got our hands on it. Well, I'm glad to tell you that the first thing that I put my the first thing that I was very insistent on was to reduce the roll distance in this game. And even if you think this is large right now, which it is still very large, but keep in mind that the roll distance right now got halved from what it was before. So I did a test sprint with Steel. Like, we would have one guy just spam roll and the other guy running, and the running speed was slower than sprinting before, but now rolling is slower than sprinting. So now it's in a good spot. So that's one thing that that I have to say about the roll. That's something that I think Steel and I are both proud of, to have convinced the dev to change that, because I think the game is just way better that way, honestly. But yeah, it feels really great. I think you guys are gonna love it. It's a great PvE experience. I've had so much fun with this. And obviously, you know, there's the tutorial on screen. I think you guys should read this. I'm not gonna read it. I'm just gonna talk and then explain various things as I go along. So when you have things like that that are high up, you need to select your hand or whatever you have. It's like you can equip different things here, different range options and whatnot. Like you could have a crossbow, for instance, or a bow here. But here for me, I have a hand, and when I hold the left trigger, I get access to either two things. I can throw a bomb here, or I can throw a rock, and then I get the item that falls down. You know, basic stuff, but I mean, you guys have not played the game, so you can't know that. So here we get our first look at the Umbral world. Now, if you take a look at this here, One of my other criticism that I had was that I thought that this Umbral thing would be a gimmick, but turns out it's really not. It's probably one of the most fun aspects of the game. Honestly, I think the Umbral mechanic side of thing is really nice. It's a nice addition to the game, and it adds a lot of puzzle elements. That's what makes exploration kind of fun to play around and to delve in. Attack combination. Here they explain to you that you can do different attack combinations and whatnot. Careful, this guy has a lot of forward momentum. Oh, let's not talk about that. All right, let's keep going here. Oh yeah, you have the healing. I'm trying to not take damage because the game is can be pretty hardcore, I would say, healing wise. The game is not very generous early on with the heals, which I think is a good thing, obviously. But so I'm try to not get hit would be my suggestion. Take your time with this. I think the game does a good job of like teaching you all the mechanics. Like I said, there's a bunch of puzzle elements. Like here, the things that you have to activate are fairly obvious because it's the tutorial area. But later on in the game, it gets more complicated, and like you have to use your brain a little more to figure out how to get to the next area. And I think some of you guys might get frustrated by, you know, by just being lost, but I think this is also a good thing. Like, this game doesn't hold you by the hand, and you might get lost at some point during your playthrough, and you're just simply going to have to explore until you find the right way to continue in your game. So I think, personally, I think too many games just hold your hand too much nowadays, and this one is not one of them, which I can really appreciate. I can definitely vouch for that. And keep in mind, guys, I forgot to say, while I was asked to give feedback about the game, and I've been working closely with some of the devs, like I was saying, I am not sponsored in a sense that I did not get paid to do this, and I don't have any obligation whatsoever to do anything or to talk about anything in particular other than respecting the NDA, of course, and the embargo. So other than that, you know, you're still going to hear what I really think, but we're going to talk about everything of the game in more detail on the next embargo, though. The next embargo being on the 12th. So on the 12th, I'm going to be able to freely talk about pretty much anything. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so we're just getting pretty much every item that we can get the beginning of the game here. And we're going to try to complete this tutorial without taking too much damage, which we're doing pretty well so far. One thing that's cool in this Umbral world here is that these enemies that we just killed, the longer you stay in this Umbral state of the world, the more these will spawn. And like right here, you see that guy is spawning right here in front of us. So the more they will spawn, and so if you stay here too long, you're gonna get more currency. They call it vigor here in this game. You're gonna get more vigor when you kill them. There's like a modifier. Right now my modifier, as they're showing actually on the prompt, right now my modifier is 1.10, and 1.10 is like the starting one. It starts at 1, then 1.10, and it can get up, I think, up to 3 from what I remember. Not 100% sure, but just kill that mage. Oh. Be careful here. Here. Let's keep going. Also, we're gonna get to take a look at the parry mechanic as well. you're definitely going to want to parry in this game. Although I must say that the parry mechanic is more of a deflection mechanic. So it works as both a deflection and a parry. So you'll want to basically, especially for the bosses, you'll want to utilize this mechanic, in my opinion, as much as possible. As like mistiming a block in this game does not permanently take away your life. So the chip damage that you're going to be taking is going to be temporary until you can get a hit back on your opponent. Kind of like how you can get hit in Bloodborne and recover the damage that you've taken, you know, by attacking back. Well, here in this game, this sort of mechanic exists, but only in form of chip damage that you take while guarding. So when you guard with something, you're going to take some chip damage that's sort of temporary. It can be permanent if you take a clean hit afterward. But yeah, you'll basically want to block as much as you can instead of dodging against bosses, I think. I mean, you can do both, obviously. Sometimes it's better to dodge because some AoEs are pretty deadly. But, you know, it's going to depend on the boss. But basically, I want to tell you to play around with the mechanics a little bit, right? Okay, so this is our first sort of like Site of Grace bonfire type deal. So I think I'm going to level up my vitality, which is my HP. I'd like to have a bit more HP in this. And I think we can only level up once, so let's just do that. Okay. And not to disappoint here, but we're about to get fucked. We are about to get fucked in the... yeah. Not by this guy, though. Not this guy. Right. Okay, maybe by this guy. We'll see. Trying to time the parry, but it's hard to gauge his attacks. I just want to showcase these parries. Oh, never mind. That's a grab attack. I think we're dead. Oof. Okay, I think it's a good time to showcase the eel. Dude, I cannot read this guy's attack. I have not started a new game in a while. There you go, finally. Alright. And then let's give him the wake up. Let's not get grabbed again. Okay, there you go. That's a deflect and then a parry. There you go. So you need to hit it multiple times in order to successfully get the critical on the enemy. Okay, and that's when we die right here.
Give me that ramp.
No! This is gonna be painful, guys. Painful, I tell you. So keep in mind also that the version we're playing on right now is not the final version. This is still a test version. I don't even know if this is the version that other content creators got. Because obviously, like I said, we've been working with the team for quite some time, so we have like test builds that we've gone through, and the version I'm playing on right now is definitely not the version that you guys are gonna be playing. So you guys are gonna get a... oh, I wasn't actually paying attention, but you guys are gonna get a much more optimized version of the game as well, which they've been already working on for quite some time. Okay, let's get killed here. Too fast! Too fast! There you go. Well, I don't think I should be saying that you're supposed to lose here. You can technically kill this guy, but I think you need to have played the game plenty to do that. And even though I did play the game, I did not play, you know, as much as I would want to, in the sense that obviously we still have to make some Elden Ring content. Also, at the time that I got hit up by the devs, Armored Core also came out, so we had to take a look and make some Armored Core stuff as well. So we've been pretty busy, I would say, the last few months. Yeah, the last 2 months. It's been a pretty busy adventures. Okay, so this guy has like a parasite. So if you hit him like that, see how he takes basically no damage? So you need to hold the lamp and hold the L2 and R1, and then you kind of take away the parasite. Then you can kick him. When you attack some things or enemies, and when you kick enemies, or when you parry enemies or deflect their attack and whatnot, you can effectively damage their stagger meter bar. And when the bar goes to 0, that's when you get the critical. So when you perform a deflect, you pretty much attack this critical bar. When you do charge attack, you attack this critical bar, and so on and so forth. So kicks are really good at building that up. Charge attacks are good at that. Deflections are good at that. But yep, here for instance, to traverse here, you see these little kind of particle, butterfly, whatever it's called. Well, here you pretty much take your lamp, and usually you just walk through it, but here you need to make a full switch to the Umbral world. So we're gonna hold square to pretty much commit what you shouldn't commit. And now we just lost our life, and we are in the Umbral world. And so we just do this small platform real quick. And we are to the next site of grace. I'm going to call it Site of Grace because that's what you guys are going to recognize, but obviously this is not what it's called in this game. They're called Vestiges. Okay, so let's rest up here. When you rest, you go back from the Umbral world to the real world. So it's one way to reset the world to its default state. Although maybe I should not have done that, because here you see like more of these butterflies. Well, if you use your lamp, you see there's some sort of objective there. So to activate them, you need to make the switch. And then I don't really, you know, you can watch these. They give you a bit of backstory as to like what happened in the game and whatnot, but for spoilers' sake and everything, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. All I'm gonna say is that you can gather some lore information by checking this stuff out. Also, doing a charge attack in an opponent's back builds up a lot of it feels good to swing around, by the way. Like, it feels different from Souls games. This here, for instance, it's to emerge back from the realm of the dead to the realm of the living. Oops, didn't mean to do that, actually. There's a lot more commitment also in this game to your attacks, so you can't just swing wildly and miss. Like, you need to make sure you're gonna hit your target, because there are commitments. There is commitment behind the swings that you do. Okay, so here let's gather some of the material that's in there. Whoa, ho, ho. Almost got hit here. Let's heal up just to make sure. God damn it. Bastard. Dude, we cannot die here because if we die in the Umbral world, there is no second chance. If you die in the real world, here you get a second chance in the Umbral world. So it's very important that you stay alive when you're in the Umbral world. Like right now, we're out of healings. We spent all our resources and we are in the Umbral world. So I'm just going to go back and reset to the vestige site. Because I don't think I'm going to be able to press forward here. So let's rest, reset the world, and start over in the real world. There you go. So now since we already activated that thing here, we don't need to go back to the Umbral world to do that. Okay. Stop it. There we go. Okay. Alright, let's try to make some progress here. Let's take up the guy up top because this particular booger he keeps shooting us these balls, these fireballs. There you go. These plunge attacks do a lot in this game, so you should definitely, whoops, you should definitely use them. R1 spam his ass. Oh, there's the other one that was shooting at us. The reason why I keep attacking when I switch weapons, I'm so used to playing Elden Ring right now that when I switch weapon, I keep pressing both the triangle and the R1 button, which you only need to press triangle like in Dark Souls 3 in this game. Okay. I actually forgot where we're supposed to go here, but let's grab this. Okay, we got some skirt. Don't look underneath it. There's a big boy here as well. Don't know if I don't want to mess with him yet. Maybe later on. But you can take him on if you want to. So see here, I made the switch. I did the first attack one-handed, and then I switched to two-handed. There you go. Switch to two-handed mid-swing. So you can sneak in behind enemies too. And then you can do a charge attack in their back. Then Bloodborne style, if you actually hit the back, there you go. Bloodborne style, you can pretty much get a backstab that way. You can also kick them in the back. I think that works too. I think that's what the tutorial was telling us. Okay, so let's activate that vestige. We're making progress slowly but surely. It's not pretty, like we're we're getting hit a lot, but it's okay. Let's level up some health again because I love taking damage. There you go. All right, great. Okay, let's keep going here. Okay, we're gonna hit that item here in a moment. This guy is tanky. He did not care. Let's parry his ass. Okay, let's get this. We got our first ring. So this one gives us more stamina and more stamina regen. Very useful early on, so would definitely recommend. And here this is a shortcut which we're gonna unlock later on. But for now, as you can see, the little butterflies indicate that we should be going in this with the lamp. As you're seeing here, you need to use the lamp to travel further. You can go in water like that, but the deeper you go, if it goes above your head, you're pretty much dead. So you would pretty much die if you keep walking straight. So let's do a full switch. Let's do a full switch and let's grab some of these. And we got clipped, unfortunately, so we lost the opportunity to gather our health back. What we're using, by the way, is a straight sword, a two-handed straight sword. Obviously, the further you go into the game, the more you're going to have access to all kinds of wacky weapons. There's the typical weapon types that you would find in a Souls game. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'll leave you guys the fun of discovering them for yourself. And also, I have seen every weapon in the game because, you know, as build, I have access to, like, all the cheats and everything, so we did play around with that a little bit. Okay, let's actually use this. Get that item. There you go. Nice. So we got the rest of the armor set. And would you look at that good old ladder right here. Climb up before they keep spawning. So we're getting some nice vigor out of the Umbral world. I keep switching weapon like Elden Ring. I'm kind of scared to die here. Let's just heal up. Ooh, we got his pants. That's kind of nice. Uh oh, I just saw him last second. I've not played the start of the game, by the way, much. Haven't played the game as much as I would want to. So I don't know, like, the placement of every enemy by heart. Oh, we're about to get doo-dooed here. Let's hurry up and go back. So that's our shortcut. Let's make a run for it. We are pretty much one shot, but we did get a vestige and we did get the shortcut, so we just made it. All right, and now that we have the shortcut, we can go back here and use this again. There you go. Okay, let's do running heavy. By the way, what I did there was a reverse backstep. It's in the game, it's just that I did it by accident. So there's definitely some tech that you can do. Okay, got those out of the way. Let's see here. Yeah, we went there earlier. Great. We're almost at the first boss, so I think we're gonna end the vid right after we beat that first boss that you're actually intended to beat, right? So here there's a vestige site. This is pretty much like a temporary site of grace. You can only have one of these at a time, and you use a special item which is called a vestige seed in order to use it. So when you do that, press triangle, get that seed out, and then you get that vestige. You can only have one of them at a time, so basically as you move toward the game, you're going to move your vestige seed at different places, but you don't recycle them seeds. You need to get a new one for each time, but you get one by beating a boss, for instance. So it's not always worth I would say using a seed every time you see a site. For the most part, it's going to be worth it if you're getting very far from your last checkpoint, for instance. So here we're far enough to our last checkpoint that I think it's worth using. Look at this. Also, I should be playing like this, you know? Show off our character a little bit. I should have picked another haircut though. Oh well. It do be like that. Okay, we got some items here, but they are in lava, so let's hurry up and not get damaged too much. Let's get out of here. Okay, so this is the first boss here. For the first boss, I'm definitely going to try to utilize the block mechanic as much as possible. And the parry and the deflect mechanic and whatnot.
Holy Aureus, by your radiance, grant me the strength to continue to endure these dark days. To lay bare the path to salvation for my wayward brothers and sisters. So we may walk it together. And to strike down all those who would see our will defied. Even as our suffering continues, I honor my pledge of patience to the exactor.
I really like this character.
Before me, a stranger, bearing what was not yours to receive. A betrayal made flesh, and one I cannot brook.
Okay, well, let's see what we can do versus this boss. Okay. So I did not deflect here, I just blocked. This is a deflect. This is a deflect, deflect. Still takes some chip, but we get it back. We dodge that. And we get that riposte. Okay, so far so good. Let's not spill the bean. Getting too greedy here. Ouch. Gotta be careful when you back up like that, because she has a laser. Scary, man. Okay, she's getting into her second phase. Scary. I hate that laser. Okay, so far so good. I mean, it could be better. We're auto V-lings, but... let's get our health back with that critical. Okay, not too bad. Okay, you need to go on the lane where the angels are not. There you go. Give me that riposte. So I think this boss does a really good job. We just dodged the grab attack. This boss does a really good job at teaching you the mechanics of being telegraphed so that... oops. Being telegraphed so that you actually have time to learn like what you should be doing. Whoa, close. A bit too close for my taste. Oh my god, that range. Oh my god. Don't do this to me. Okay. Well, here we go again. I just popped a consumable here. Oof. Oh, look at our sliver of health. Let's go. We got it first try. That's what I'm talking about. All right. And we just walk into the sunset. This is pretty cool, honestly. Gives me some some Shadow of the Colossus vibes. Feet. What a cool character, eh? Let's go. All right, so for instance here, you could be using, you got a vestige seed. You could be using the vestige seed like right here, for instance, where the boss just died. But since I've played the game already, I know that this is not a good spot, so I would not use it here. But what we can do is we can make the switch to Umbral and then use this for our piece of lore. And also, every time you activate one of these, you get an item for it. Some sort of currency, if you may.
Will not ease your suffering, but I pray my sorcery does.
Okay. So, like for instance, here we got these things, and let's emerge from the Umbral world here. So we got Sanctify. Seems like some sort of spell. There's a floating health bar back there. Don't know what it's about. And here we are. I think this is where we're gonna end this quick little showcase. We are technically allowed to go further, but personally, every other content creator is gonna put it out. So if you want to see it, there's gonna be plenty of people who will showcase the rest of the game. But personally, I just wanted to talk to you guys about my experience so far working with the devs. And yeah. I don't want to spoil you guys the game too much either, but I think, you know, getting into the hub area, we pretty much went throughout the tutorial, beat the first boss, and I think that is plenty to not spoil what this game is about, while also showcasing some of the mechanics, how the game works, and whatnot. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this first look at Lords of the Fallen. Again, I'm very excited for the release of this game, but we're going to talk about this further. We're going to talk about the multiplayer, but next time on the 12th, when the next embargo lifts. So that is going to be it for today, everyone. Thank you so much for this, guys, and thank you so much for the Lords of the Fallen team. Thank you so much for X-Work. For giving me this opportunity to take a look at the game early, to participate in the balancing of the game, the playtesting, and all that sort of stuff. It was a great experience, and I am eager to talk to you guys more about it in more details. So until next time, take care, everyone.